Welcome to ChristFun Comedy Show. My name is Benny MC and it is a minute with Benny MC, and this time we are back hosting Mr. Ojangole Deogratius, aka OJ. Yes, he's a mentor and a father in this industry. Bebasajja abadde mu kintu okumala ebbanga eriwera. So, katumuzeeko, then we dive in straight. Papa.
Yeah.
Mukama yebazi.
What an introduction. I'm humbled to hear, and I am a judge in this industry. But I'm humbled to be here. Good to see you, Ben MC.
Good to see you.
People like you encourage us. You make us believe that chituko chitufu. So I'm happy to be with you, and I follow up what you're doing. Benny MC on TikTok, mugoberera, and Facebook, mugoberera, and YouTube. Rockabad data muzibu. But I follow you. Well done.
You follow on YouTube. Thank you, sir. Well done too.
Welcome.
Yeah, so we want to talk about Christian comedy because I've realized there are many guys in comedy who are doing Christian that, you know, some of them are not heard of. In fact, many. Because when I was talking to Uncle Mark, I told him if you ask how many Christian comedians do we have in Uganda, they'll say Uncle Mark, Laptop Oje, Pablo. Yagemanya gebamanyi agabadde woko for some time. So twagala kumanya lwaki industry yaffe tenabakwata kuba nti buli mwana ali yakola comedy. At least ayina erinnya.
So for starters, I must say that comedy is really rich in the church because man, we have the joy of the Lord inside us. The Spirit of the Lord is inside me, so we are joyous people. We crack jokes. Our pastors are comedians, some of them. You listen to their sermons like Musumba Wandeba Dofuna comedy special show. But because comedy has not fully been accepted in the church, you find Christians celebrating it, or among the activities they do. Let's host a comedy show today in our church. You hardly hear such stuff. So with that background, they don't feel appreciated at home. I'll give an example of us. When we started out, we're not doing it commercially. We're doing it at the university, prime time, just making humor under the name TLT, Touching Lives with Talent. So the idea was, how can we use this God-given talent to make people laugh while learning, while sensitizing them, while dealing with hard topics? For example, but when you talk about it in plain English and in strong words, may take offense.
Yeah.
But if you crack jokes about it, because you have educated them, but you've cracked a joke on of. So we used to do it just, on a Christian basis, not commercial. Until we met Pablo. Pablo invited us and said, by the way, I've started something here at Open House next to Watoto. You guys come. I told him, what are we going to do? Because we didn't know that what we are doing can cash in. Next skit. So he invites me, and I think I performed my very first time. Nampai facilitation. The next time, and I became a comedian like that. No school, no what, but from the background of doing skits, background of emceeing, you are touching a few jokes and punchlines, and you become a comedian. So with that background, we're going to klabanga abana babikola neta inamu kwata kumkona gamba jangu vayo. So after Pablo picking us up individually, because by then laptop had not joined laptop. So laptop comes in later, nga Pablo mazeku recommending. Still it takes a comedian to recommend a comedian. Katubuzibwe twinao tetucha identifying a talent. I'm now quite busy. I'm a family guy. I no longer at prime time. I am hardly in church circles anymore. I cannot go down on the grassroots. So you find that those who are doing it are suppressed. Even on a bigger platform. So Pablo invites me to perform at Comedy Club live in Kampala. It was an anime production, and he gave me a reference. I am among the best comedians in the country. Wow. I'm the best. I went and I performed. I got my first $1 million shillings. What? In comedy, I did 5 minutes. This thing has money. Yeah. But remember, the motive was Sikola Sente. Can I use my comedy to talk about things people fear, to educate, to preach the gospel? So from there, that's when I met Laptop, and then we teamed up and said, by the way, why don't we do? But the very first duo was Uncle Bob and Simiyu, who are my mentors as well.
Oh, okay.
So kati Pablo, Uncle Bob, and Simiyu, then me, and then others, and then Uncle Mark, the likes of Emeka, the likes of Wehati Champamire, so many guys in there. So kachengeza ogamanti tetukyalina identifying nokwata ku mukono ngedda wekyali. We're lucky enough that we attended a few workshops okutulaga nti how do you craft your material to be polished. kyetuyita comedy clinic Pablo gye yakola ne Champamire. So katuwosanga nti because of that you find that even in the Christian circles n'abakikola bakola ki bakitya. And then also secondly, as maybe I put a nail to it, is the mentors they look up to. But just think omwana akola Christian comedy ombuze, who are the people who inspire you? Ajja kugamba other names which are not doing clean stuff. So ajja kwesanga nti his style tends to be drawn to the other people because bamanyi. And for us who do perhaps quote unquote clean stuff, things that cut across, tatumanyi. I doubt someone right now is watching and say, OJ, you're a comedian since when? Because we are not in the world, but we are of the world. We are in this world, but we are not of the world. So kati n'abasumba baffe. Kwagala ensonga nyingi. When was the last time omusumba we yagamba? As we have our tithes and offertory, let's have brother Benny MC atuweereze mu comedy. Mbulira. Let's have Sister Charity atuweereze mu yimba lumu. Let's have the dance team serve us in 2 dances. Let's have so and so atukubiremu ekivuga. So they have not also accepted. And the reason is very simple. It's treading on thin ice. Agamba sawa yonna ono mwana yandiwemula because they know comedy is for uttering bad words. So toba nenya nnyo.
Okay, me right now I have time and I know many comedians that especially young comedians that are coming up that you might not be knowing. We have Rasta Pastor and Davo, very nice duo. They are born again and we got them now. They are also part of ChristFun.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we have many guys in ChristFun. Ray Wo, Teacher Salfa, Mudasi. All these guys are funny. But when we talk about the young talent, those who are just coming up, I think we find a big problem here. Because most of them, when they watch comedy, we have many Christian guys who are funny and they go to secular comedy, you know? Because I think
you succumb to the pressure.
The pressure, they want to be popular, so walabo muntu nga ali mu secular chikuwa gamba, when they think about comedy, I think when you ask a Christian comedian who is your mentor, jakugamba erinyanga ate the mentor is not a Christian. Tumana ajja kujanga mulokole naye omusange ku labonita aze kola rehearsals nenga joko gyali mu kola. Ne mama etasobola jira bakutivi nagamba that is my son. So abaana bano tubafunye tutyo okubajjayo okulaba nti wabanga already mwana wakiri abadde mu church nga Benny MC we yajja nti mbadde mulokole have to do Christian comedy. Afuna atya engeri gyatutukako.
I think before I go to answer you, let me just clarify on this. For a Christian, whatever you do reflects on your Christianity. For example, I'm not talking Christian, but because I'm a Christian, there are words I will sieve out. I will never say them because they're not part of me. So, omuntu yenanga mulokole obanga mu Kristayo, you cannot draw a line ogamba kakati wano nimulokole kati wano simu kakati wano Christian wano simu. It's supposed to reflect throughout the things you're doing, whether it's in business, whether it's in family, whether it's in education or politics, you are the same person. So omuntu ngali Christian purely, there's no way you can still be dirty and clean at the same time. So to those who are doing dirty stuff, the question is, I question their Christianity. But banakola chi chuka, they're not yet transformed ngabo. Because there's no way I can kuwemula because bagena kumpe mitwalo abiri oba 3 oba 5 oba milioni 10. No. Ngazo omuntu I can never kuwemula. Even if the audience is not liking my jokes, I rather die on stage than saying a dirty word. So to those who are doing that stuff, I think they need Christ. So let's stop calling them Christian comedians. They need Christ in their lives. Once they change, then they will become Christians. And then too, comedy is comedy. Humor is humor. You don't even have to target that it's Christian or not. When something is funny, it's funny. Whether it's Christian or not, it's a funny stuff. So let's appreciate the artistry and the creativity of people. When God gives you a talent, He does not take it back. Whether you question to be blasphemous. I'll give an example of the most talented people you know of. Why is he attacking God like that? Especially guys who do jokes on Christianity. Nenga ira bilanti katone yamu ekitone ekyo ekisesa abantu katone yamwadde favor eganja katone yamwadde the spirit of a sound mind being bold ngatati abantu nenga atali mu kukivoola. So those guys need to accept Christ. Obanga wena gwomanyi nga akikola for pressure tanalokoka. Niyo mutunga mulokole. There is no way he will utter things that are not of Christ. So for the people who are looking for mentorship, this is what I always say. Nti iron sharpens iron. Omuganda agamba nti mbuli abo oyita nabo okubulira empisa ze. So who are the people you are hanging around with? What are you watching? You are what you feed on. I used to be a small man, if you've seen some of my clips. Naye mukyala wange afumba. Afumba se kufumba emmere oli ekyenkya, oli ekya breakfast, oli ya lunch, oli ya supper. So mubiri kola ki? Gugejja. Because of the way I feed. Kati nga gwe tolina mukyala. It's understandable. As in, not take no offense. Take no offense, you are one GB. So we are what we feed. So if you're feeding on dirty comedy, definitely you're also going to be dirty. You be careful. When you watch a dirty movie in the cursing, you will realize that your language, luchuse, now then kogamba the F word, the A, because the things you're watching, like movies are black for 1 week, you'll find it easy to curse. Just be reading the word of God, or you'll see harmony. There is rich content. So I can't say I am here to mentor or we are there to mentor, but the best thing I know is mentoring is working with someone. Nze omuntu ya mentoringa teyangamba nti kati funa olupapula ne peni wandika wansi. Wabula nagendanga naye twatulangamu ne tuyiya. Nangamba, what jokes can we write? Nangamba, for example, let's talk about short people. You know, there's a thin line between dissing and a joke. Okuvuma n'okusesa oba okuswaza omuntu kye bayita embarrassment and harassment. So you may think of, okay, a short joke. Omuntu omumpi tugenda musesa tugenda kukola ku ekisesa nga omuntu omumpi y'omuntu asobola okusiba engato ze nga takutamye. Kwe yaba bati simuvumye wabula ndimugira nti mumpi nnyo enkuba yesemayo omukuba. As in, you start looking for things. Naye notawe mulatu natamuvuma ali notamufula kuwulya nga yeekyayo kuba omumpi. Nomugamba omuntu omumpi omuntu asobola okuba makaniko mulungi. Kasito parking emotoka woti ngagamba boss zino shocks zo zino obuzibu. As in, n'omuzaamu amaanyi nongamba omuntu omumpi embeera wekaloba ennyo engoye agulamuza abaana bato. As in, you look at things that the positive, the good, and then some correction. So for mentorship, read the Bible. There's a guy who inspires me a lot. He's an international comedian. He's called Michael Jr. Another one, for example, is our judge, Pablo himself. Pablo's stuff is that he makes his daily life experiences maja humor. Are you in church? Are you in Mweres? I watch your clips and I can relate with them because they are day-to-day things. There's one you did of how to put Colgate on a toothbrush. As in, who does not know that? Why would I even waste my data watching that? But I watched it anyway because Benny MC is teaching me. Maybe I've been doing it wrong. So you don't need any mentorship as per se, but the mentorship that you need is to build your craft. Ojijayo from just doing it for fun, never serious. Like I got to know that a comedian, you know, kuandika. Your jokes sometimes mukama kuwa joke. Funa wojiwandika bane pen bana kapapula wandika. Or no kuba ne business plan. Or no kuba ne social media plan. How are people going to know you? For what and Kokola comedy, we're not aiming at being known. It was serving. So the more you serve platforms, or people start inviting. We used to do all this. There's no stage we have not stepped on. But now we stopped back. When one performing eri mu kidula, I become an endorsement. Ko alwa balokola bajjo kujjo kundaba ate bansange bangambe now was ekitegeeza biri okay. Ate bajja kulaba nze zeka batambulemu bagende nedda. So tugamba tuzimba mubiri gwa Kristo oba ate tugukosa. Tugamba wakite tuleta kintu kino mu church. Kati tulina campaign gye tubaye tukola kuba COVID yatuyingira. Bagiyita comedy on wheels. Comedy on wheels.
I think Ojeka tugiremu comedy on wheels. Kwamba deja kubuza ku according to the time you've been in this industry, the achievements that you're seeing, and I believe that is one of the achievements. I attended Comedy on Wheels, I think at Full Gospel Church, and the church was full, you know, which means people have started responding. But and
so for starters, it's been a very hard subject selling comedy to pastors. And any other person, be it a business company, once you mention comedy, everyone thinks of, so selling comedy to them and showing them your craft, today, no one will accuse Pablo of saying any dirty word because he has a track record. Over 10 years, you will not look for my clip, never. So, even the social media clips we have, when someone watches it, it says, okay, So I've approached a few pastors, and we've received a very overwhelming welcome from the congregants. Nebagulawo Church, people come an evening and the churches are full. The first one was at Entebbe Pentecostal Church. In a full house. Second one, yali full gospel Makeire. The third one was VCC joint service. Churches zonna waziringa town at Lugo 12 meeting ida gundi eno. Awabiro moleso. Uma. So, but the pastor entrusting you to say, let me introduce, and we also got other invites. The whole idea is how do we redeem something that has been corrupted? How do we make people believe that comedy can be clean? How do we make even those who are doing dirty comedy to say, hey, by the way, because from doing clean comedy, tufunye gigs and all, we MC on weddings, on corporate events, because someone is looking for an MC who is also hilarious. Personally, I've been an ambassador twice for giant companies. Because one, I believe that one, it was good. And then number two, people trust that you're not going to utter any nonsense. Hardly do you have an ambassador whose character is questionable. So I've been an ambassador to MTN, to Stanbic Bank. I've worked for different agencies, still bringing on the humor. International agencies, USAID, UN, nobody call it up because they trust your clean stuff. So for the young people in church, Mukama tali yangozi, wamuwereza, akuwereza. Now if you chase after money, so for mentorship, for mentorship, identify someone you want to, who inspires you. Watch their craft, create your own stuff. If possible, meet with them. I know people when Budaka, Igang, or Botasola Kusinkana, but they watch you. And numbers of Ituzigaba. Call me up. There's a guy who came here at Spirit. Ngambuza, I want to join comedy. But tell me 5 comedians, you know. Ngatamanyi. Nenga bangamba beri. Ngamba, how can you enter an industry or a ministry where you don't know anyone? So do your research, have passion about this. The truth is that God's talents are not revocable. If you choose to serve God, He will lift you up. And to the pastors who are opening up their doors, our desire is that we do tours throughout all churches. I'm looking forward for a night. A comedy night in churches. We are coming to knock your doors. Full team for the twinner competition in Balokole. Ben MC will work with me, I'll work with him in any platform. Our content is shared. Maybe jamu bya finances abantu basinga okweyuzanganya. Kati fe twine ekintu ekyaffe tetucharginga, by the way, we don't charge. We go to these churches openly. Tubaga fe mtu platform we want to preach. At the end of our comedy sessions we have altar calls. Twatuza abantu obulokoze tusaba. And then the churches appreciate. Nebagamba banaite muvira mwao muli basajja bafumbo mulugene n'amata. Mugene sukali katinga gwe nagamba bene msiko tayone kasabuni. Agokoza kuongoye ne jaze. Sini toina sabuni. But it's another way of saying quarter transport. Yeah. So churches appreciate. And again, what has shocked us is that they even appreciate more than what the secular pays. We have been rewarded or we've been facilitated better in church than in these other platforms. Wow. So it's basically it's like selling out. If our very own who are giving us gigs cutting in back, actually performing a comedy on baga. Chukiro musumba mugaya musumba. Manyi machine zifude. Ebi mabisi seze empire na joke ezi. What is the meat le mugaya ina kwogera joke eno ne joke eno ngaya kale kendo. Because it's very sensitive.
I think you have answered many questions there, OJ. Facilitation and what Baba na baby single bamenya. We've been doing church tours, ChristFun. We've been doing church tours. I think we've gone to Mitiana, many churches in Kampala, then Mitiana, Masaka, and all that. And I believe after seeing what you guys were doing, so we're like, you can't temugena zima laulu mekanisa nafika tukirenga tukolanga wa get it is ministry, and I want to appreciate that. Kati, I think our last question, OJ, as a radio presenter, TV presenter, and also a comedian, a mentor in the industry, what plans do you have for the young comedians out there about the Mukutandika Christian comedy?
Plans, one, we have an academy. It's called 360 Degree Academy. We train public speaking and emceeing. It's a life skill you can add to what you're doing. Because if you realize, right now, comedy platforms are all locked up. It's most stages, zetumanyi, ne churches nzigale. So how are you going to earn from your craft? You have to package it. So that's why the emceeing coming in. An MC who is a comedian or who is hilarious, it's a plus. A preacher who is hilarious, it's a plus. You've seen most of our pastors are now telling jokes because it's a plus. You have to lighten up the spirit. So we have an academy, we have an online course in case you cannot move. Your plan is so can we make your craft professional? Craft yokubiri is iron sharpens iron. We never chase away anyone. Also kuntukirira, also kube number yange and I forward you. A man busy nenkukwasa Benny MC nenkwata laptop nenkwasa Uncle Mark. So we have that mentorship program where we don't just train you, but we work with you in the journey. And to introducing a clients, and to tambula nawe nolabenge ekintu gye bakikolamu, so gye mpisa mentorship. And then thirdly is we struggled to get things somewhere. We don't want you to struggle. So don't be there and undercost yourself. At least just do it for ministry. Let them appreciate you. So no, you are not that worth. So we have set the bar a little bit high. If you want an MC, this is the amount. If you want a comedian, this is the amount. I am willing. How can we put up like a comedy clinic? I'm going to approach Pablo and other people who are willing. We set up a clinic. Polish. How do we polish the young comedians? How do we polish the young talent? And then some of you are good at writing, but not performers. You'll cash in one day. Get a book. Anything that comes to your head that is hilarious, or you, even if it's Bible study. I get most of my jokes during Bible study. You never know when you're going to use it. You will sell it as content. Material. So there are times when a comedian you don't have jokes. Ngo ina stress bingi inaga mwana kankoyo kajoko nonga kajoko chako kankolira nengane twina wakawulira sinawe nakawulira nakakuwa nokawandika nojja nokasabula bubi nnyo nenga tasobola agamba nti yo joko nze yagimwa because one, there is no intellectual property agreement that you wrote nogamba nti this and this. So write. Social media has made things easy. Nti jokes abana baza uploadinga bakola batya baziwandika ku statuses. That's a good way, but again it cheapens the craft. People are paying for this craft. Why are you just dishing it out? Wandika and have your book ready. Gamba book of jokes, edition 1, edition 2. If musicians sell songs, tulimba sola luyimba nebundu lya sola luyimba nalomuguza. How about us? So we buy content. We can also give us content. And then comedy is also not just in stand-up. There are different types of comedy. So there's sketch comedy, there's stand-up comedy, there's mimicry, there's puppetry, there is so many types of comedy. So twezule. Not everyone is going to stand up. Maybe you can be funny behind a chitedi bear. Ngoyambala chimask kyo nokola puppetry. No zanyisa obukokolo. Obanga gwe maybe omanyi kuzanya katemba je twita sketch comedy. You can act. It's also there, which is lacking in a Christian circles. So anyone who is in a drama team, you are a right candidate for this. Just take your craft to another level. Tape your content. There are times I look at my videos of so many years ago nengamba gwe no joke ngali ya tabu nengaze kajimanyi. That's why we don't upload our stuff. Because with comedy I can use one joke nenjitwala mimifo nga 8 oba 9 newe bangeri uploaded ebefudde befudde before you perform it people already know ngamba katagenda gamba chitu katagenda. So but again let's continue encouraging each other, and then also more importantly let's stay in Christ.
Okay, OJ, last question. We have many comedians, Christian comedians, Mudasi, Teacher Alpha, Raywo, Benny MC, Rasta Pastor and Davo, many guys. We are all single. But we are pushing. We are in the pushing ministry.
It's going to be hard for you. Mama. Hey, if you are single and you're a comedian, everything you say will be taken as a joke. Like ambosaka weyogera mazima. So I think sometimes you need to have what we call a persona. You go kwawula who Ben MC the comedian is and who Ben MC is as a person. No bigatika byombi. Muganda wange, you'll be proposing and people will be laughing at you. You are so funny. You are so funny.
It was true story. True story. Teacher self has been trying.
So I'm very serious. The day I proposed to my wife, people thought I was joking. It was an empty advert. Nenga serious. I went down to my knees and proposing. But the beauty is she didn't know who I was. Tiamanya who Oje was. Kati gwe member sasi de banange baba manyi muli ba comedian, you are funny. And then two, oyinza obaolyawo nga abakazi abajja they are fans. Baagala Benny MC the comedian. Naye nga gwe ng'omuntu tebaagala kumanya. Bagamba, which is wrong. So it's really hard. Mbasabira. But again, ebintu bino mbijjemu by'okusaaga. Mbere serious olengera omwana wa bendi nga Mukama akulongameza nti yoyo. Attack with full swing. Tuddamu ebya comedy kambenga asaaga mugambire ddala wagaana akuyigiriza engeri y'okola ki y'okugambamu omulala. So don't fear to try out. Nze I also got several no's nange baŋŋaanako kugaana kuluma baŋŋaanako n'emirundi egiwera niyo gwasembayo gwanuma nnyo nendwawo nofuna omuwala gwenjagala kyantwala emyaka nga 6 gwe gayo gwe toseka myaka 6 nga nnumwa ate nga bwala abalungi weebali bangi nga lwakitongeza naye nga nkyalumwa. Okugala ngamba mbu it's not you, it is me. Akanako kaluma mbu any man will die to have you bichi naye nga akuganye. So seek the Lord first and all these things shall be added unto you. And my marriage advice is simple. Be transparent. Muve mu byonkukutu. You know, when you're dating 6 girls, it's possible. But if you're dating someone openly, it's hard. They can say, man, who is your girlfriend? Okani go yogereza kati. Declare agama no eno territory yange, let no man come here. So, batabana je bali kati omufunanga. Be as open as you can. Let the world not know as such, but funaye abantu ngomu babiri basatu. Accountability partner. Bakati ate abaana aba comedian mwagalwa ate ekintu kya temptations zipweka wansi mangu. So mufunisa wane embuto nja kwefunya obuzibu. So mufuna be accountable. Gamba tukira aba elders bomanyi bowesiga mikwano gya ngamba nze ne gundi oyo nno tanso mulaba mu engeri naye mutusabire. Mwe kusanga naye kusaba mukaaga mangambe ne Ben. Kimanyi omwagana essaawa zino sitani agenda kukemera bwerere nga nawe okimanyi. Mbasanga muddaka kona mbagamba ante tuganye mwagalana naye timulekiraawo wamusanga akukyalya buli lunaku mugamba zikiza omuliro because I know. So these things are very sensitive. And then also too, take a step of faith. Omwana wabakiriza genda okyala even if you are kisaati. Nowadays parents want people who give them respect. Tebakyayagala zimanyi zifiriji supermarket kuba nabamanyi tebazirina zabalema okukola. Singa na taata gakusaba ente 10 nenga netayina nte nga ye taata. Nenga kusaba ente 10. So these things be official. Because when you say mbakasoke nchikube kansoke when I sinjakuya story yangu luvanyuma. But I once rented the toilet gwe gola bazi. Nasulako mutoyi ngate njipangisa. Mtoyi ya 10 naji. 15. Nenga bajibika H2 ne bagisementi ngane bagifula mu room. Awo kakukuba wow. You will come back for another interview. But kiraga nti twali mbeera ya luberera. So kuba kisaati leero nenkya nobera kisaati ne uli kisaati, but another day will come nga sigwe kisaati. So take faith. Marriage is a good thing. Maze mfume myaka 4.
Wow, myaka 4.
2 children nchazaala. Tuchazaala.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Benny MC. Today we had OJ. He's a presenter at Spirit FM, Spirit TV.
Embako ne sinyo. Nzija.
Kale, thank you so much. Catch you next time. Bye bye.